Hey everybody, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the shadow work tarot reading for the sign of Gemini. Now, just to let you know, I'm using a slightly different format. I'm just trying to make these videos a little bit shorter, as I'm aware that my videos tend to be very long. So do let me know your thoughts afterwards in the comments if you prefer the shorter readings. So just to let you know, I will be using the Dark Mirror Oracle deck and getting more insight with the World Unknown Tarot, clarifying with the intuitive as always. So let's get stuck in there without further ado. So what is it that's being revealed at this time to our dear Geminis? What is it the shadow self is revealing about Gemini at this time as we continue to feel the residual energies of our last full moon of the year? Okay, so to begin with, you've got Perchance to Dream, which is a very interesting card. Okay, so we'll explain that in just a moment. I just want to pull another card for you. I never take just one in isolation because there's always multiple things going on at any one time, and it gives me more insight as to what could be the case for you. So what else is going on? What else is the shadow aspect revealing at this time? Gemini. Wow, this has been coming up a lot. I will not cry for you. A lot of healing needs taking place at the moment, peeps, across the board, okay? I feel like a lot of us have taken a hit, particularly when it comes to our love lives. This energy keeps coming up in the readings. Okay, so let's just discuss this for you then. In regards to this card, Perchance to Dream, this here talks about how easy it is to kind of allow yourself to fall back into a passive state, to just distance yourself from your emotions, distance yourself from the circumstances you find yourself in at this time, distancing yourself from pain from others that are that are linked to this circumstance, you know, to just simply fall into a deep sleep and allow the world to just pass you by. This is that energy. It's kind of like, you know, Sleeping Beauty when she pricks her finger and she goes into a slumber for a long time until she's awoken. This is like purposely choosing to prick your finger so that you can fall asleep and not deal with life, essentially. You're trying to detach. And by disconnecting from the world around you, disconnecting from people and even yourself, you feel like you will be saving yourself the pain that you no longer wish to endure. But as you know, Gemini, it doesn't work like that. So then, of course, you also have I Won't Cry For You. So I feel like you've been mourning a loss at some point in your recent past. Could be in relation to a love connection, it could be a family member or a close friend passing, could be you know, mourning the loss of a dream, of an ambition that you had, and knowing that maybe due to an accident or some kind of health issue, you're no longer able to pursue it in the same way. Either way, I feel like it's a loss on a significant level, and it's caused you a lot of suffering, right? And I feel like you're still suffering now, which is why you're choosing to distance yourself from the situation and the people connected to it, and trying to disconnect from your emotions at this time, because you feel like you felt so much in this time. You've been through so much emotionally, been through pretty much all the stages of grieving and gone through the circuit more than once, and you haven't quite got to that stage of fully accepting things. You get to it, towards it, but then you kind of loop back around again. So you're kind of tired of going through this cycle with it and not finding some kind of inner peace, not finding resolve. some kind of resolution, and that's why you're trying to distance yourself from it on all levels. So yeah, I feel like it's this numbing that you're trying to do right now. You're trying to numb yourself to the pain because it's easier than going through the cycle. But the truth is, until you move into that space of detachment and acceptance, you will repeat the cycle. That's the truth, or you will be stuck in the same energy. So it's really important that you do the healing work, that you allow yourself to grieve, you allow yourself to move through these emotions and understand it rationally, that it's a process, it takes time, but you also have to make the choice to move forward, to let go. Okay? So let's see what the tarot has to say for you at this time. Okay, so so to begin with, you have the Eight of Wands in the upright. I feel like you're going to have an epiphany in regards to this situation. Something is going to come and hit you like a ton of bricks. There's going to be some new gain clarity and awareness, like a solution, an answer is just going to fall into your lap. But it's not a quick fix. I feel like you're hoping that something will just fall into place where you can just kind of be out of this and move forward. But it doesn't work like that. Even though you will be struck with some kind of inspiration, something is going to dawn on you all at once. And you're going to realize that there is a way to move forward. It doesn't mean that it's a quick fix, okay? There's still work that needs to be done in order to move out of this space. You also got the Chariot in reverse, Cancer energy, okay? You're not moving forward because, again, as I said, because you're trying to just simply detach from your emotions, you're only going to find yourself being forced back into this cycle of having to grieve all over again. And that's really unhealthy, to be honest. All it does is prolong the suffering. If you want the suffering to cease, you have to confront them. You have to confront the situation head on. You have to confront your fears surrounding this situation. Okay, whatever it is that's preventing you from wanting to move forward, whatever that fear is, you have to address it head on. Okay, you need to step into this energy, Cancer's energy, move forward and move. With absolute determination and ambition to beat this, obstacle that you find yourself dealing with. And I feel like it's something that's been going on for a long time, especially when I think back to your previous readings, Gemini. A lot of you have been dealing with these things for months, possibly even years, okay? So it's time to break the cycle. You also have the seven. Why is 7 coming to my mind? 7, okay, 7 may be significant, okay, there may be something coming up in relation to the number 7 for some of you, or there's something significant about the 7th of the, of the 7th day of the month, or something to do with 7, I don't know why, but 7 just came to mind, maybe because of the Chariot, there's Cancer energy, so associated with the 7, but there may be something significant about the number 7, I don't know why, but that just came up. Anyway, you got the Sun of Swords in reverse. So not wanting to, again, take decisive action, not communicating your thoughts at this time, because I feel like you're still kind of unsure how to move forward. You know you have to take action, that you can't sit in this space, but you're really not wanting to for some reason, and we'll have to clarify that further. You have the Daughter of Pentacles in reverse. Again, I feel like this is not a new situation. This is something that you've been having to confront for some time now. But the fact that it's not being addressed efficiently, it's not being dealt with, is putting you in a space where you have to learn the lesson. Okay, you have to face the lesson until you learn from it. So it's not giving you the opportunity to move forward, to really reap the benefits of coming out of this space and moving into a more positive one. You know, there is a bright future ahead if you allow yourself the opportunity. But while you're still running away from whatever it is you're not confronting, that's not going to happen. So you also have the Sun of Wands in reverse. This is fire energy, okay? So you've got swords, air, pentacles, earth, and you've got fire. So, yeah, I feel like you're feeling quite disimpassioned at this time, and that's why you're finding it so hard to move forward, okay? Because your passion for life isn't there. You may be occasionally meeting up with friends and family members. You may be doing things because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to see your friends, you're supposed to see your family, you're supposed to go to work, you're supposed to pay your bills, you're supposed to go shopping. But I feel like you don't want to do any of that stuff. Not even the fun stuff. I feel like things that you would normally really enjoy participating in, you're wanting to retreat from. I feel like you want to retreat from everything, you know, this energy here. Wanting to retreat from the world and go into the ether where you feel that safe detachment, okay? So maybe that some of you do astrally project quite frequently, quite easily. Some of you may astrally, you know, embark on astral travel. And because you are able to explore different planes of reality, different planes of existence, you know, interdimensional travel, you find it easy to detach, and that's almost like a safe haven for you, the ability to detach spiritually and emotionally by, you know, projecting elsewhere. So you don't have to be, you know, actually within your circumstances, even though your physical body's here, you yourself is not here. And that's a way you're trying to escape. Maybe you're using your dreams. If you're able to lucid dream, maybe you're using your dream state to escape your reality. So as such, you may be sleeping more than you usually do. Okay. And then you have the Daughter of Cups. So we've got all four suits here. And funnily enough, the only one that's in the upright is the Daughter of Cups, Page of Cups energy. So yeah, even though you're trying to detach on all fronts, emotionally you're still there. And that's what makes me laugh, because that's the thing that you're trying to detach from most, is your emotions. And yet here they are, you know, inescapable. And I feel like even though you feel this, you feel quite vulnerable and you're feeling quite tender, and you've kind of exposed that vulnerability that you may not have previously to certain parties. I feel like you're kind of wanting to be vulnerable at the same time. As much as you're trying to detach from the heavier emotions that you've experienced, I feel like you want to be vulnerable, you want to be nurtured, you want to be loved, you want to be cared for, unconditionally loved, right? That's what I feel like you need. You just want that motherly affection, right? Not in a sexual context, in a motherly kind of love, right? That kind of energy. So I feel like this is literally the energy your embody at this time, is like the freshly hatched chick, you know, that's seeking its mother. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. I feel like you just need a bit of extra nurturing, a bit of unconditional love to help you get through this. So that's what you're really seeking. And you may be seeking that through specific connections. Maybe if you're single, you're dating again and you're trying to find that in your connections, but obviously that's not working. You may be trying to get that from your family, but you may not be receiving it in the way you need it. Things like that. So let's have a look. Okay, so we're clarifying now, so just to make you aware of what I'm doing. So to clarify the Eight of Wands here, you have the Seven of Cups and the Ace of Wands in reverse. So yeah, I feel like even though this acknowledgement, this awareness is going to hit you like a lightning rod, you're not going to be willing to accept it straight away, even though it rings true in your mind and from your your soul center. I feel like you're still going to kind of challenge it. You're still not going to readily accept this information, this download that you get, because it doesn't align with what you want to hear. But it can't, because it has to be what is the case, right? It can't be just what you want to hear at the time. That's not going to serve you. It's something that's going to give you the spark needed to move forward. Where you're currently lacking it is going to provide it. Okay, so it may come in a form that you did not anticipate. It may put you out of your comfort zone, but it will be the very thing that you need, the catalyst that you need to break out of this cycle. And that's when you're going to realize that the world is your oyster. You have so many options available to you, okay? That emotional abundance doesn't just come from one specific person, one specific type of circumstance. You can gain emotional abundance from multiple areas of your life, truly with yourself, and then through others, not the other way around. First, you have to reconnect with the self here, okay? That's really important. So let's clarify the Chariot in reverse then for you here, just to show you again. Way too many cards there. Okay, I'll take that. So, 9 of Cups and 8 of Pentacles. That's what I'm talking about. You're not moving towards the very thing that you want most. This emotional abundance, this happiness, this bright future in love, or like I said, it doesn't have to be in a romantic sense, but just love in general, unconditional love. You want that more than anything, but you're not moving towards it because you're afraid of what it will take on your part. You know that you can't ask for something if you're not willing to reciprocate, but you don't feel like you have the energy, you don't feel like you have what it takes at this time to provide that. So that's why you're holding back. That's why you're hesitant, because you feel like, I can't step up to the table and provide what it is that I'm seeking. So who am I to ask for something that I can't return at this time? Which is sensible, and I do understand it. Sorry, there's some dogs flying out there by the sounds of it. I do understand this. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, if that's what you're seeking and you're concerned that you're not going to be able to provide that, then why don't you make that a focus? Why don't you work on becoming that, right? Why don't you work on your own energy, work on your healing, so that you can provide yourself that, and then you can connect with someone who's also be able to provide that, and vice versa, okay? It always has to start with the self, so that should be your focus, I feel. So let's clarify the Sun of Swords in reverse here then. Okay, so you have the Star card, the Queen of Swords, and the Devil in reverse. So what a combination, jeez. Okay, Star card to begin with then, Aquarius. This is about wish fulfillment. This is dreams made reality. This is manifestation of our highest hopes, okay? This is making things come to life, essentially. The star, wishing upon a star, is that kind of energy. Alchemization, transforming our pain and fear into love and hope, right? It's that energy. It may be that you have some feelings towards an Aquarius, but you're afraid to communicate at this time, especially because you do have the Queen of Swords here. So you're afraid to reach out towards possibly an Aquarius because you feel like you're not ready to offer what it is that you have in mind, what it is that you're seeking, this 9 of Cups and 8 of Pentacles. It could be simply that you're trying to move away from, a more fancy-based, concept of what you want a relationship to be, or what you want from a person in your family or your friendship circle, or just what you want for yourself, and you're trying to move into a much more hardened, more realistic, experienced energy. You know, you're trying to you're almost coming away from that like childlike energy into, sorry about that noise, by the way, it's a nightmare living here right now. So yeah, it's like coming away from this, you know, childlike, you know, sort of, you know, big-eyed, full of wonder energy into a more realistic, experienced, mature energy. And that's why you're not communicating, because you feel like my ideal is not real. Okay, I have to be realistic about this, and through my experiences I know that this is not real, therefore I'm going to step into this energy. But this is also your energy of Gemini, you've got to remember as well. So it could be that this literally just represents the space that you're operating in at this time, again because you're trying to detach emotionally from the things that have caused you pain in the past, you know, and that you're still trying to heal or avoid. You're really stepping into this energy that you have, your own energy of thinking rationally, logically, not allowing your emotions and your hopes to cloud your vision, to stop you seeing things clearly. But I think you need to find the balance between the two, okay? I don't think you should go fully into this space and disregard what it is that you're hoping for, that you, you know, that makes you feel excited, that brings out like the best in you, right? I think it's important to find a balance between the two, because obviously if you go completely into this space and disregard this energy, you can sometimes end up, you know, losing track of what's actually happening in your circumstance, and that can lead to a bunch of other, you know, undesirable situations, and that you might find yourself having to deal with situations that you didn't account for. So you have to find the balance between the two, is what I feel. Okay, so in regards to the Daughter of Pentacles here, well, okay, a few came up then. So you have Ace of Cups. Wow, see? You are wanting this new beginning, okay? You want that emotional, like I said, unconditional love. But you're not letting go. You're not letting go of the pain yet in order to be able to move towards that. Yeah. So you got the Page of Swords in reverse. Because you haven't learned the lesson yet, so how can you move forward if you haven't moved, if you haven't learned from what it is, you haven't learned what you needed to know from this situation. Five of Wands in reverse. You're trying to avoid conflict, you're trying to avoid this back and forward within yourself of, you know, wanting to just be healed and have it over and done with and everything be fine, but also feeling the very vulnerable and tender and needing that nurturing, and then being angry at yourself for feeling like that. I feel like there's a lot of inner conflict. I feel like this, where there may have been conflict with others and it may have gone on even until recently, I feel like a lot of this is you trying to move away from inner conflict more than anything, because you have so many thoughts and ideas and pathways in which you can explore to try and move away from this space. But you're not wanting to do that right now because you're just afraid, and you feel like, you know, that if you deal with this head on, you're just going to have to go around the loop again. But that's not the case. If you face this and actually process it and let go of your attachment to the pain and to the situation, you'll find that you won't repeat the cycle. Actually, that'll be the thing that frees you. So the very thing you're afraid of is what will free you. That's what I need to convey. That's what I'm trying to communicate. You also have the King of Wands here. So more fire energy, okay? This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It could be that you're not willing to give up on a specific connection with a fire sign, or they could have fire in their chart. you know, there may be a case of you wanting to get into this energy because you're still hurting, because you feel like cluster. You're not feeling that passion that you once had for life, that zest, that you know, confidence that you had. I feel like you were really wanting to regain your confidence more than anything, and feel, you know, that you have value, that you have worth. But I feel like the way you may be assessing your value and your worth may not be the best way, because even though he's the King of Wands has still got that, you know, player energy. It's very fiery and passionate, but it can be kind of fleeting and, you know, not necessarily long lasting, and, you know, kind of almost fickle energy, like, because each card has its own ups and downs, so it has its positives and negatives. The negative aspect of this energy is that it's very fleeting, it's fickle, it's almost non-committal, you know, it's prideful and boastful, and it can put on the charm when needed, but then it's gone the next moment. So it's not the most grounded energy out of all the suits, but, you know, the King tends to be more stable, far more than the Knight or the Page, okay? Or the Queen for that matter. So it is a little bit more grounded, but it's just a case of that, yeah, there is still that aspect to the energy where it can be sort of, yeah, not necessarily the most stable or the most grounded in terms of, you know, bridging connections. So let's clarify the Son of Wands here and reverse the Knight of Wands. Because again, I feel like you feel like you've lost something here, like you've lost your game, that you're not on fire like you used to be. Maybe you're used to getting a lot of attention. Maybe you're highly sought after. Yeah, you may be feeling like, gosh, people are not even interested in me right now. I haven't even got that going on for me. But you've got to remember that that kind of energy, as I said, is fickle, it's fleeting. It's not the unconditional love that you need at this time. That's what's going to help bring you to that level of grounded awareness, to truly feel self-love rather than just, you know, prideful or just vanity, right? So you have, to clarify, the Son of Wands in reverse, the 10 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands in reverse. So yeah, it's knowing that, you know, there is a lot of process here in the various aspects of how this situation has affected you. There is a lot to heal, there's a lot to process, you know, and that connections can be rebuilt or connections can be mended. But the first thing you need to do is address those within yourself, where you feel the disconnect, where you've been trying to close off, right? Because how can you complete the cycle if you try to avoid it, okay? You have to do the inner work first, and then you can explore the outer. And I feel like because you're aware of this, you're not really actively calling in this you're not calling in this level of attraction from others, because, I mean, you're not feeling at your best anyway. I feel like, I'm trying to find the best way to explain it. You're not using your lure, you're not using your charm, your charisma to lure others in, okay? Because you're aware that you just don't have the energy for that right now, and that's not where your focus needs to be. So as much as it, you know, you want to be in this energy, you want to feel like, you know, you're the man, or, you know, you're queen bee, right? You're just not really focusing. As much as you want that, you're not focusing so much on that, because you know that there's more pressing matters that need addressing, particularly when it comes to your healing, that's very surface level. The work that needs to take place is much deeper than that. And then to clarify, finally, the Daughter of Cups here. So water energy here, as I said, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, So you have the death, okay, Scorpio energy. So it could be that you're dealing with a Scorpio. You have the Hierophant here, and you also have the Nine of Wands. So you're having to open up and be vulnerable with people in order to really move forward in this journey of yours, to really take the next step in your transformation, because all of this is transformative, is opening you up in ways you haven't been previously. So in order for that change to occur, you're being put into situations, you're being made to confront your emotions and your thoughts, to really come from a space of vulnerability and being open and honest, you know, speaking truthfully from the heart in order to move you forward on this journey. So there's a lot of old ways that are dying for you at this time, old ways of communicating, old ways of thinking, old ways of behaving. You know, closing off your emotions is an old habit, I feel, and that's ending, right? You're being pushed towards this space of being vulnerable and open. Because, yeah, I mean, because of that, you're feeling quite defensive. You're feeling like, I can't let go of how I used to be because that's what's protected me. But I don't feel that's necessarily the case. I feel like as much as you can cling on to old habits and old ways, it's not going to serve you, and it doesn't apply anymore because everything is changing, right? You are not the same person that you were. You're being transformed. Everyone's going through a transformation at this time to various different degrees. So you can either accept it and embrace it, or you can fight against it and find yourself going around and around in the same vicious circle. That's what you need to realize, that you are being supported. You have guidance coming in through the universe. As I said, it's going to be literally directly communicating with you with direct downloads, okay? You're being brought to a new frequency so that you can receive that communication, so you have to be open to it. You also have certain people that are going to be prominent in your life that may speak in a way you're not used to hearing them speak, because they are speaking on behalf of the universe. There's a message that's being delivered through this individual. It could be that you're even just watching this right now, and this is one of the messages that you need to hear. You know, there's many ways in which the universe can try and communicate with you, and I feel like it's going to do it through direct stream, but also it may deliver a message through a person, either through a reading like this or through someone you have direct communication with, okay? So, yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't clarify this devil in reverse. Now I'm just seeing it here. Where was that? I believe that was up here with the star card. Okay, so I'm just going to do that quickly. I'm sorry, I just left down the side for some reason. That's quite interesting. That's never happened to me before. Okay, so just to go back. This is clarifying the Sun of Swords here, in reverse, the Knight of Swords. So we had your energy here, your wishes, and your fears, okay? The devil in reverse speaks of illusion, okay? The things that hinder our progress, that are based on fear, irrational fear, rather than facts, okay? So the reason you're holding back is because of your fear surrounding if you go after what it is that you want. And if you operate in a space of being hopeful, of being optimistic, if you're putting that kind of energy forward, you feel like it's going to be in vain. So you're trying to be very realistic and rational and methodical about it, and just close down your emotional aspect in regards to this situation, in regards to how you move forward, and how you're going to be from now on. But that's not serving you, and it's not true to your heart. So that's what you need to be aware of, Gemini, that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. It's okay to admit that you're not where you wanted to be in the journey. But the important thing is knowing that you can break out of the cycle, but it's a choice. And part of that choice is detachment, okay? Letting go of what no longer serves you, by making peace with the past, making peace with the fact that something had to be let go of, okay? Whether it's just the attachment, or whether it's walking away from a situation, and focusing on your healing. You do that, and who knows what pathway can open up in the future, right? But you first need to be strong enough and determined enough to do that, to focus on your healing and move forward. Okay, break the cycle. So I hope that was helpful for you. I hope this reading wasn't too long. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked it, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll continue this further, I guess, hopefully in your next reading. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, take care for now.